You were disgusting for cheating on me. Stay away, my husband yelled, throwing divorce papers at me. Take these and leave. I grabbed the papers and put them in my bag. As I was heading to the front door with my stuff, he called out, "Wait." I turned around to see him grinning and holding a small envelope. "Make sure you don't leave anything behind." The moment had arrived. I imagined his smile fading and said, "That's the final gift." He looked inside the envelope and panicked more than I expected. I let out all my anger at him like a final punch. "My name is Emma Smith. I'm 35 years old and I work as a tour guide at a travel agency. My husband, Michael, is a college classmate, and we got married after dating for a while. This year is our 6th anniversary. Recently, the travel industry has struggled, but things are starting to get better, and people are traveling more. Over the past 6 months, bookings have surged, making my job very busy. I've been working overtime every day. As I got busier, my husband's attitude grew colder. At first, I thought it was because I was so busy and we weren't spending time together. I tried to make up for it by inviting him out after work, but he always said he was too busy. Even when I asked him to dinner, he claimed he had to work late. Before I knew it, almost a year had gone by without us spending time together. He would ask, "Why are you coming home so late?" Even though I told him I was working late and making dinner, he complained, "It's your job to prepare warm meals right away. You've been slacking on housework lately. Even if you say I'm slacking off, I have a job too." When we were dating and even after we got married, my husband was always kind, but recently, he's become really harsh and I don't understand why he's so cold now. As my birthday was coming up, I waited for dinner to be ready, but my husband didn't come home. Looking at the clock, I saw he should have already left work and arrived if he wasn't working late. He didn't contact me, and I started to worry something might have happened. Finally, he came home. "Hey, you're late," I said. He glared at me and said, "Late? You don't offer any comfort when I come home tired from work, and you didn't let me know you'd be late, so I thought." "Thought what? What did I do?" I asked. "Are you accusing me of cheating on you?" he replied. "I didn't say anything like that." "Are you doubting me? Do you know how hard I work every day?" my husband said as he approached me. "You're also coming home late, and sometimes you don't come home at all," he added. "I have to stay out for travel plans and overnight trips. Your job is easier, so you can make excuses. Are you sure you're just working late?" I was stunned. He thinks I'm cheating. We've had small arguments before, but this was different. "I work hard too. I don't have time to cheat. You're the own," I said without thinking. "Are you accusing me of cheating?" my husband yelled, slamming his bag on the floor. "Where's the evidence that I'm cheating? Do you have any proof?" "If you do, show me," he said, walking loudly toward the bathroom. Why is this happening? I sank to the floor with a big sigh. Does he not love me anymore? As anxiety hit me, I noticed his bag. It was zipped but only halfway closed, and I could see a bit inside. I decided to look inside the bag. There was a long box wrapped in pink paper with a ribbon. It looked like a birthday present. I was sure it was for me. I thought my husband was planning to surprise me, which made me feel better. Curious about the secret my husband was keeping, I put the present back in the bag and carried it to the living room. Since it was my birthday and he had prepared a gift, I thought he remembered the day and didn't say anything. I had taken the day off to spend time with him. "What time will you be home today?" I asked him as he was getting ready for work. "Why are you asking?" he replied. "Because today is." I stopped myself and smiled. "What are you laughing at? Do you think I know?" My husband answered tersely and left for work. I had already planned dinner, so after he left, I went shopping and prepared the meal. I imagined he would give me a necklace from that box, so I dressed up, hoping to match the necklace. As the evening went on, my husband still hadn't come home. I tried calling his cell phone multiple times, but he didn't answer. Is something wrong? I walked around the house anxiously. Finally, my husband arrived. I checked the time and realized the date had changed. "I'm home," he said, taking off his shoes without looking at me and heading straight to the bathroom while yawning. "Do you know what time it is?" I asked. "No, you don't know," he replied. "Do you know what yesterday was?" I ran up to him and asked. I said I don't know. He finally turned around and saw me in my beautiful dress. His eyes widened in surprise. "Did you know yesterday was my birthday?" I asked quietly. "No," he replied just as quietly. "I can't believe you forgot. We've always celebrated together," I said. I was so upset that tears almost started to fall. I tried hard to keep them in, but I couldn't. "But you didn't tell me," I said. "Of course I forgot. I thought you remembered. You even got a present ready," he said. "What present?" he asked, looking confused. "I saw a present that looked like a necklace with a ribbon in your bag," I explained. My husband was furious when he heard this. "Did you look inside my bag without asking?" "No, I didn't look without permission." The zipper was halfway open, so I just glanced inside. "You're unbelievable. You went through my stuff without asking," he shouted, hitting a wall in anger. "You really have no manners." With that, he slammed the bathroom door shut. The next day at work, the women were chatting together. Jennifer Williams, a junior employee who was 3 years younger than me, was tall, striking, and popular for her great personality. She was showing off something to everyone. "Yesterday was my birthday, and I got this from someone I like. Isn't it beautiful?" Jennifer said, proudly displaying a necklace to the other junior employees. It was my birthday too, but it felt so different. Remembering the fight with my husband the day before, I felt sad as I sat at my desk. "Good morning. Look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it?" Jennifer said to me. "Oh, yes, it's lovely," I replied with a forced smile. Since my birthday, my relationship with my husband kept getting worse. We barely spoke when we were home, and he came home even later. I didn't know how to fix things or what would happen next, but despite my personal troubles, work was going well. The company was recovering, and bookings were coming in strong. I focused on my job to try and forget about my husband. One day, 3 months later, I was working late into the night. Since everything was going smoothly, I finished earlier than expected and decided to come home early to clean the house for the first time in a while. When I arrived, I noticed the curtains on the second floor were open. It was still evening, and my husband should have been at work. I thought he must have forgotten to close them, so I opened the door and saw a pair of unfamiliar high heels at the entrance. "Is someone here?" I wondered, my heart racing. I quickly closed the door and stepped back. After a short while, the door opened, and my husband and Jennifer walked out, holding hands and smiling. I was stunned. Not only was my husband cheating on me, but his partner was Jennifer, a junior colleague from work. The smile on my husband's face was one I had never seen before. Why? I thought, seeing Jennifer's necklace, the same one she had shown off at work. I couldn't believe what I was seeing and just stood there, watching them walk away. Tears started streaming down my face, and I broke down, crying uncontrollably. After about 30 minutes, as my tears dried, I suddenly felt calm. How could he have brought Jennifer into our home? My anger turned into determination, and I stormed into the house. I went straight to the kitchen, but it was so spotless that it was hard to believe anyone had been there recently. Since the day he got angry with me for looking in his bag, my husband had become extremely careful. He even took his phone with him to the bathroom. The bed was also perfectly made, showing he was careful not to leave any signs of his cheating. "It's even more suspicious if he goes this far," I muttered as I yanked off the sheets and started washing them. While the washing machine was running, I opened the bedroom window, took a deep breath, and decided I would divorce him. The next day, I began gathering evidence of his infidelity to secure a fair settlement. Since I thought I wouldn't be able to get anything from my cautious husband directly, I tried to follow Jennifer when she left, hoping to catch them in the act. However, I didn't manage to get any useful pictures, so I hired a private detective to collect evidence for me. The detective agency said they would need a month to gather evidence, so I waited patiently. During that time, whenever I came home late at night, my husband would shout at me, saying things like, "Why are you so late? Were you with another man? You can't even cook a decent meal. You're useless." I kept my composure and thought to myself, "I'll remember this," but I didn't argue back. Finally, the day arrived. I came home late from an overnight bus tour job because of traffic. As expected, my husband glared at me with a fierce expression when I walked in. "Hey, don't come any closer," he said. "Why?" I asked. "You were cheating, and that's why you're late." "No, I was stuck in traffic." "Don't lie to me," he snapped. He pulled out a piece of paper from the drawer. "You were cheating anyway. Don't come here with your dirty body." He spread out the paper, revealing it was a divorce notice. "Get out of this house right now. I'll make sure we get compensation," he said with a smirk. "I understand. We'll get a divorce," I said, feeling the moment had finally arrived. I took the divorce papers and was about to leave with my belongings. Just then, my husband said, "Hey, don't leave anything behind." He handed me an envelope that I had left on the table. "That's my last gift to you," I said, giving him the envelope. When he opened it, he found hundreds of photos of his affair with Jennifer. "What is this? You took pictures without permission?" he asked, shocked. I told him to stay away. Jennifer was a college friend. It looks like you reconnected through a mutual friend a year ago. You kept asking me for proof of the affair, so here it is. I've got the evidence. You claimed you were innocent, but look at this. Photos showing you even went on a day trip with Jennifer. You truly betrayed me. I'm going to demand double the usual compensation. Go to the bank and get a loan." I said that and forcefully opened the door, leaving the house. Afterward, through a lawyer, my husband and I finalized the divorce. He was ordered to pay $25,000 in compensation, while Jennifer had to pay $8,000. My husband struggled to meet the compensation payments and made mistakes at work. Rumors about his cheating and divorce damaged his reputation, leading to a loss of trust and his voluntary resignation. He tried to find a new job to cover the payments but couldn't secure a regular position, working tirelessly day and night to pay off the debt. Jennifer's affair with my husband became known at her workplace, and her popularity plummeted. Feeling uncomfortable, she also resigned voluntarily. Though the divorce was finalized, the betrayal still shocked me, and I had no desire to see Jennifer again. I took some time off to rest, but with encouragement from my colleagues, I returned to work as a free person. I threw myself into my job with renewed energy and enjoyed each day. How did you like the story? Please subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video.